This is about my 70th birthday gift to myself. Okay. I'm calling it my 70th birthday gift, a journey to the unknown. Now, on 27th of July 2024, I took part in the Route 97 106-kilometer Inhuman Race, and I live to tell the tale. So this is the story of the event. Let me share my screen view. Okay, so that's my 70th birthday gift, a journey to the unknown. Now, I took up SUP in January 2022. Okay, since then I've taken part in 3 races. The longest being a 6-kilometer race in the Masters category, above 60 years old. So, and the longest distance I've pedaled is about 12 kilometers over maybe 3 hours. Last year, some Singapore paddlers took part in a 97-kilometer SUP race down the River Kwai in Thailand. Some of them took up to 12 hours. And this was the Route 97 event. So when the registration for Route 97 2024 opened, I decided this would be a birthday gift to myself on my 70th birthday. Now, I found that the distance this year was 106 kilometers, okay? And it was called the Inhuman Race. Here you see 106 kilometers. That's a start point. That's checkpoint 1, 34 kilometers. Checkpoint 2 is the cutoff. If you don't make it, the 70-kilometer mark, if you don't make it by 9 hours, you can't carry on. And then you carry on, it's 106 kilometers. There was also, as I said, this extraordinary race over 34 kilometers. And 34 kilometers was nearly 3 times further than I'd ever pedaled before. So why was this inhuman effort a birthday gift to myself? First, the event was from the 26th to the 28th of July. It was a weekend. That would be over my birthday, and I would be overseas alone. So that made it a present to myself, by myself. On my 70th birthday, as I launch into my 8th decade of life, I see this as a gift of a past. I will create a past for myself. It would be a pattern of behavior. It would create a personal best that would, be my potential, and it would be a promise of the future. So I thought that was a great gift. Now, the itinerary was to leave for Bangkok on the 26th, which was my actual birthday, then drive to Kanchanaburi to register for the event. Then the 27th was the race. And on Sunday, the 28th, we would return to Singapore in the evening. So this is what I wrote in my morning pages on the 25th. Today is a very important day to get my body and mind prepared for Route 97. Why am I doing it? Because I want to give myself a birthday gift. The gift is not the finish. The gift is the start, then the journey. The finish will be just another part of the ongoing journey in life, when the finish line is the start of eternal life in heaven. I was later corrected by my friend Francesca Eber that heaven has actually begun for me as a child of God. I don't need to wait until I die for heaven to start. Okay. Now, the key is that I show myself that I can start big things. I can have big, hairy, audacious goals that I can have ball-shrinking adventures at 70. Now, do I want to finish? Of course I do. That's why it's a BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. But that's meaningless for growth if I'm not going through the challenge of the 1,000 miles. So, it has to be a frightening journey. I would have to do the training, the preparation would be involved, the teamwork, the mindset, of course, and then the prayers that would come in, and then the execution. the endurance, and finally the excitement of the end. I wrote, this will be another opportunity to know God better. I can do all things in him who strengthens me. Because, okay, then I said, this will be the first gift to myself, and the 70th birthday is the perfect occasion. It also marks the first adventure of my 8th decade. Now, honestly, I had no clue how I could possibly complete 106 kilometers, but I started visualizing finishing that, and that would be, of course, the extra bonus, seeing what actually happened. So what happened over the 3 days? While on the plane leaving for Bangkok, I saw news from those who had arrived earlier. They reported severe flooding of the River Kwai and buildings in our resort at the finish line with actually water reaching to the rooftops. The whole event may be cancelled, they said. So this was our resort. Everything is floating there. Here we see a picture on the day after the race. See, this is HD. This is on the 4th floor level accommodation, but this is a lower level accommodation. This is the top of the roof. The water has come right up to the top of the roof. Okay, so that was how serious it was. Now at 7 p.m. on the 26th, the decision cancel the 106-kilometer race was announced. Okay. All participants would take part instead in the 34-kilometer race. Okay. And then checkpoint 1 would be the new finish line. Okay. So everyone had to do just that. Now, the race started at 8 a.m. instead of 6 a.m., much more relaxed because it was only a shorter distance. And I actually completed the 34-kilometer race after 4.5 hours. Tao Chia, the Singapore champion, he won the 40-plus age category. He took 3 hours. Everyone I spoke to found that it was this 34 kilometers was a tough paddle. After the first 14 kilometers, the river wasn't really flowing anymore. Okay? The river flow was very, very slow due to the floods further down. At the end of the race, my quadriceps, my quads felt really, really sore. And I had difficulty walking. It was, by putting that much effort. And the tips of my fingers were very sensitive because of, the abrasive grip material I pasted on my pedal. That constant pulling, that constant rubbing really, really hurt me. So I was not in good condition. And I was not sure if I would have made it to checkpoint 2 at 70 kilometers by the 9-hour cutoff time. And I was quite certain my body would not have been able to complete the 106 kilometers under these flat river flow or non-river flow conditions. Okay. Now, because of the really early finish of the race, we were also able to start the post-race party early at 7 p.m. with full attendance. And that enabled us to bring forward the prize presentations from Sunday morning to Saturday night. So it was a much more relaxed time. We really had a good time. So the question is, did I get my birthday gift? Okay. Now the biggest gift I got was to get to know God better. Okay. Now the success mantra. Success equals to intention plus action plus grace. Grace is the big factor in life, definitely in our business. And my receiving station receives my sixth sense from God. The sixth sense had said, sign up, and it had guided my behavior throughout this trip. So God was my ultimate companion and guide on my journey at every transition point. Truly, a man's steps are ordered by the Lord. That is what I experienced. And of course, we talked about God's power over weather. Let me share with you that, the rain was raining continuously, and it stopped for us so that we could check in at Suan Sayok, which was the finish point. That was the check-in, the registration point. Then we could actually prepare for the SUPs at the start point without the rain. Okay. Then after dinner, rain continued through the night, but it stopped the moment I left my room for breakfast. That's 5:30 a.m. All the time to the start. For 2.5 hours, there was no rain. And that was important because, we could interact during the preparation at the start. We could actually take photographs during that time. And then, it rained throughout, and then it actually, in the evening, it stopped just in time for us to walk to the party venue, which was a little distance. It would have been, pleasant to walk in the rain. Okay, and of course, God's wisdom over weather. I feel that the flood stopping the 106-kilometer race, then the totally overcast weather prevented us from being burnt. And it's like God saying, I give you what you can handle. Okay, you are wanting to bite a bit too big of an elephant. I give you what you can handle. Okay. Now, I also received a lot of gifts, what I call gifts galore. Okay, let me share with you some of these gifts. First of all, in HT, I had a buddy to do this with. Without him, I may not have actually, continued to do that. So I had buddy HT there. That was a great thing. On the Thai Airways flight to Bangkok, I had a present, a surprise gift. They sort of woke me up from my snooze, and they gave me this card, this little toy, and then a bottle of some blue pea drink. Okay. Then we had a luxurious vehicle to travel from to Bangkok and come back in Bangkok with, and more provided. This is more, okay. More provided sandwiches, drinks, fruits, and also this dessert from JW Marriott really provided us a lot of things. Then birthday cakes. Okay, in the evening at our resort suite garden, I guess one chocolate cake, one carrot cake from all the way from JW Marriott, and then the Route 97 in the party, they also had a surprise birthday cake for the people who had their birthdays over the weekend of the race. So 3 birthday cakes. I say we also had a smooth start. Okay, we had a smooth start. The rain has stopped, so here's me, with my board. We're taking photos here. This is Daisy. This is Tao Chia. This is Wenjun. Okay, our coach at Constant Wind, and HT here. Some more photos. Okay, so this is us lining up, waiting. Because there were so many people, we had to go down in batches. So here, some of us are waiting, and here we're waiting. Why are we not flowing down the river? At this part of the river, the flow was quite strong because there's a rope here. Okay, we're all hanging on to the rope. Okay, so that was a smooth start we had. Okay, and then some magnificent sights along the river. I said I wanted to enjoy the sights along the river. Okay, so let me show you some pictures of the sights. Look at this, beautiful. Whether you're paddling weather like this. Okay, this is behind us. This is me, and HT is behind. And this is the only time I was in front of HT. After that, he overtook me and finished slightly earlier than me. After he overtook me, I decided, heck, this is not really a race. I want to enjoy the sights. So I settled down and I took photos, and I enjoyed myself a bit more. Okay, it's a photo of me. Look at that. This is what I'm paddling through. You have to stop and just marvel at this. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's really beautiful. Okay, here's just a video of some of the sights along the way. So there are a lot of these holiday resorts along the bank. It weren't flooded over. Because the river shouldn't be brown like that under normal conditions. Okay, this is some higher quarry walls as we approach the finish. So this was the finish. We would leave our boards here, climb up the staircase, go all the way to the staircase, and then ring the bell, and that's where the time stops. Okay. Okay, so what else did we do? So we met new friends. Okay, this is Nick. If we go to Sabah for a leaders retreat, he runs SUP company in Sabah. Okay, this was Satish from India. We met him, and then these are Julia's friends from Thailand. This is Craig Wong from who's now residing in Thailand. His Thai wife and his daughter. So we meet friends with people. And then, of course, the big thing for me was to meet a truly impressive leader in Poly, how she handled all the crisis. We're going to have her, I'm going to interview her. Just amazing, amazing lady. And okay, so, we also saw, HT and I saw how we showed up. We always talk about the cup half full. Well, we operated with the cup full and overflowing. We were able to carry our own weather with cheerful and positive throughout the whole event. We took photos, we shared our photos with different people, and all this is how, how all that we've learned from being in the new skin business, being people came up. And of course, we were hospitable, as I showed you in that last picture. We invited them. They didn't have a table. We invited them to join our table. Now, the last thing I want to say is that we didn't complain. Okay, so this is the room that HT and I had. It's so crammed out. I got to hang my clothes on the TV. You see this bungie, 2 bungies. That's how we have to hang our packs to dry. There's things everywhere on the table, towel hanging, my gloves hanging on the thing. It's just such a tiny room. But for the same price, our friends got this huge room. With each person has got a huge double bed, the balcony out there. Their toilet is the size of our room. And you know what? We didn't complain at all. This is part of being a mountain tourist. We are so used to rough conditions. Okay, so that's all I have to share about our adventure there. I really had the gift, because for me the gift was simply to be able to start the race. Okay, we always want to start new things in life, and how we finish is how we finish. It's not really important. It's the journey, and we had an incredible journey, and this will continue. So I invite you next year. If there's a Route 97, you may want to consider joining HT. Okay. Okay, thank you everyone. Tomorrow, Tuesday, tips will be by Hui Swan, and I apologize once again for really that terrible hiccup. Okay. Bye everyone.